One of the poses that I've never liked is called Purvottanasana, and it's called reverse inclined plank. And there were two reasons why I never liked it. Number one, my wrist didn't feel good in it. And number two, I would always struggle with hyperextending my knees. So I've created some workarounds to address those two things, as well as make it actually harder in a lot of ways. So what you want to do is take a rolled up mat, because that's going to decrease the amount of wrist extension that's required. And then you also want to grab a yoga block. And we'll start with the yoga block between your thighs, so above the knees, and the mat is behind you with your fingers trailing off the forward edge. And let's start actually with just a little cat-cow to warm up the spine. So round your spine, you can let your elbows bend, and then arch the spine and look at the ceiling, squeezing the shoulder blades. Let's do that one more time. Curling in, rounding, protracting your shoulder blades, and then arching, retracting the shoulder blades. Then we'll find a neutral-ish position and grip the brick so you get this midline connection from the insides of your feet to your inner thighs, pelvic floor. And first just see, is it okay on your wrists to lift up a little bit? The further your hips are away from your hands, the harder it's going to be. So if that didn't feel all right, scoot your hips closer to the mat and lift up here. And that might be plenty. If your wrists feel okay, especially given that there's this incline, what we'll do next is try to extend the hips all the way up, meaning there's no crease at the hip crease. And there's a lot of work in your glutes and hamstrings. So let's do a few more of those. Retract your shoulder blades and extend the hips. One more time. We're going to add on. So once you've lifted your hips, hug the brick, try to straighten your right knee without your right pelvis dropping down or sagging in your shoulders. So this is a true stability exercise, connecting the thorax to the pelvis. Whew, my goodness, it's challenging. And then lower back down. Another option, if this still bothers your wrists, is you can take two blocks and do exactly what we did before, but have the blocks underneath your forearms. So I teach it that way all the time. Give it a try and let me know. So I didn't ever fully go into the straight-legged version, but that would be the next progression, and to be able to do that without hyperextending your knees. And if there's any poses that you don't like, that you've turned around and flipped inside out and made it so you like them or so you're better at them, say something below in the comments. I'd love to hear.